a 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK. We are waiting for our next guest, Craighead County District Court Judge David Boling. He is on his way to the studio. He should be here any second. Now, we're going to talk about the Craighead County District Court Amnesty Program. Definitely a program that has gotten a lot of attention in Jonesboro. And the way the program works is it's every Friday up until February 10th. You can go to court if you have old fines, old community service, if you have warrants, and you can speak to the judge. You won't be arrested. You won't be thrown in jail. The judge will hear what you have to say, and then they will work something out with you. But we're going to actually hear it, as the old saying goes, from the horse's mouth as soon as he gets here. So, of course, when he gets in, of course, we'll take your phone calls at 870-277-1080. Don't forget, my girl Allie J will be on Midday with Diana Davis at 11 o'clock a.m. today. So you definitely want to check it out. So Judge Boling will be with us any moment now. So we're just waiting him. I think I just heard him down the hallway coming. So we'll give him a moment to get seated and situated, and we'll be what I say. But you have to forgive my voice is kind of going out, but it is all good. We're going to still.
Well, while we're waiting, don't forget this Friday at Legends Barbecue and Smokehouse, Blues and Comedy Jam with Memphis blues legend Daddy Mac Blues Band and comedian Stefan Smith.
Come on in, Judge.
Doors open at 7:30. Tickets are $15 in advance, $25 at the door. All right. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
Just fine.
All right. Just have a seat there.
I'm sure everyone is very interested, excited, and anxious, or whatever other, word they can come up with to hear about this amnesty program. I know that we've had interviews before, like back in February of last year when you were. No, not you, but other judge was running for office.
Well, he was in here too.
Okay.
Basically, 3 of the 4 men that were running for a district judge, there were 2 district judge positions up for grabs, and 3 of the 4 men that were running basically campaigned against the Justice Network.
Yes.
And, of course, the winners were Judge Boling and Judge Fowler, and both of them were in favor of getting rid of the Justice Network. And, of course, they both were elected to office. But, Judge Boling, let's go ahead and get started. So, go ahead and tell us just about how the amnesty program works.
Yes, we're beginning. We started last week. We've got 4 consecutive Fridays, beginning at 9:30. The amnesty program is going to consist of really 3 parts. If you have a first appearance in which you got a ticket that you didn't show up for, or if you had a trial date that you didn't show up for, you're allowed to come into court. We'll give you a new court date, and that warrant will be quashed. There won't be any money required that day, nor do you have any fear of being arrested and taken to jail. The other 2 parts that we're seeing with that is also regarding people who may be on a payment plan. If for whatever reason they've fallen behind, they've had a warrant issued for non-payment. Again, what we'll do is you want to come in, we'll assess it. If you have all the money that you owe to pay it, we can take it, we'll quash the warrant, and you'll be eligible to get your driver's license back that day. If you don't have all the money, what we'll do is do a payment. Again, we'll reset the warrants, allow you to come in for a new court date, and set you at a payment that you can afford. That's the one thing that myself and Judge Fowler are considering. I think previously the way it was set up is, income really wasn't taken into consideration. It was either you pay $25 every week, $25 bi-weekly, or $115 a month. And so, go ahead.
No, at one point it was 25% down, and then whatever.
Correct. and that kind of differs on what charges you may have. This amnesty program, if you're wanting to pay off your fines in full, we'll accept those, or the clerk will accept those, and then I'll direct the clerk to issue a reinstatement letter for your license. The great thing with this, we had excellent turnout last Friday. We had approximately 50 people that showed up. Over 200 warrants were quashed.
Now, when you say quash, define it for the people who may not know the legal terminology.
Sure. If you're out driving and you get pulled over, you have a warrant that's outstanding for either not showing up for a court date, you got a guaranteed ticket to the county jail.
Yes.
And so by saying quash, what that means is that we'll come in, it's almost as if that warrant was never issued, and you get to a do-over, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
So basically the warrant goes away.
It does.
Okay.
And so you get another bite at the apple to come in and take care of businesses, which you get to do.
All right, so once again, we are speaking with Craighead County District Court Judge David Boling. We are talking about the amnesty program. Now, Judge Boling, there are some people that are skeptical that they can't believe it's real. They may have been fooled in the past, or seen somebody or know someone who has been fooled in the past. And there's some people who think that this is a secret plot to get the names of everybody who owes fines and warrants, and JPD is going to come after them later on and round them up and toss them in jail. So we want to hear direct from you. What do you say to those who are doubtful? Because we don't want anyone to miss out because they're afraid that this is a trick.
No, I've watched Dateline just like you, and I've seen those episodes where they send out a notification they've won a lottery or they've won some prize, and the intent is to get a roundup of people. That is not going to happen. Judge Fowler, I think that was brought. He conducted court last Friday. I'll be there this Friday, and that was some of the concerns that were expressed to him. Absolutely, unequivocally, that the only list that's being compiled is a list of people who show up, and then we use that to pull the records to see who has warrants, who doesn't have warrants, and that name list stays with us.
Okay.
I can assure you that there's not going to be anybody rounded up. The main purpose is for people to be able to get their lives back in order, to be able to have the knowledge they can go out and not have to be worried about being pulled over, that they can have a job without fear of being arrested and losing that job 2 weeks after being on it. So.
Okay. And I have a question. I wanted to give you opportunity. You said there were 3 things, and you didn't get to the third one.
Sure.
Okay, you mentioned.
I forgot. It was non-payment of fines. We're dealing with first appearances and then trials. And those are really the 3 things. One's in which you've got a trial that you've missed a trial court date, or if you've got your first ticket and for whatever reason, if you looked at the dates wrong, you said I was supposed to be here on a Monday and I didn't realize it till Wednesday. The first appearance. Those are really the 3 dates that we're looking at doing things with.
Okay. Well, another question with that, just as someone, they had a ticket for whatever reason, made payments, stopped paying. I'm sure at this point it's probably a warrant, and but in the course of that, they now have been declared disabled, no income. They want to try to get it taken off the record because they want to try to get licensed just to have ID, have something valid. So what can they do?
Sure. There's a bit of limitation. Can't really go into specifics as far as, you start playing the what if game.
Okay.
But I can give you an example. If someone's income has changed, one of the things that Judge Fowler and I are doing, regardless of whether you're taking part of the amnesty program or if you're regularly on a payment plan per month that you were set up on, either myself or Judge Fowler or Judge Blackman that was previously before me, if your income changes, come to us.
Okay.
If you come to court, just say after court, I'll adjust your income to what it is you can afford, your payment plan.
Okay.
Right now, we're in the exploratory phase of looking at doing some either in-house probation or in-house public service work. We're still exploring all the options to see what the financial cost that's going to be. And I say in-house, I'm referring to the county government or city government being the one that runs that, much like it is at the state level, as opposed to having a for-profit probation company like Justice Network. So that the true motive is to for example, if someone's wanting to do public service work to work off their fines, that's a hope here in the future that and I say future, I'm hoping the next month and a half, that might be an option. To be able to take care of some of those old fines and fees where someone may not have necessarily the financial means to do it.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the things that myself and Judge Fowler campaigned on, is that anytime you're dealing with misdemeanor court, there's really 3 ways of punishment. One is a fine, one is incarceration, and the other is public service work. And so sometimes it requires all 3, but sometimes someone who can benefit by saying, look, I really want to be able to work this off. I just don't have the money right now, and I'd like to be able to have the opportunity to say, look, sure, we've got some, whether it's cleaning a cemetery, whether it's working a local, basically a 401c nonprofit, if that's to help fundraisers for things of that nature, working, whether it's picking up trash, whether it's of that nature. And I may have went on too much. Did you have a question?
Oh, no, but we are speaking with Craighead County District Court Judge Mr. David Boling. We are talking about the Craighead County Amnesty Program. And if you have a question for Judge Boling, you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. We're also streaming live on Facebook, so you can also post your questions for Judge Boling as well. We are talking about the amnesty program.
I did have one question concerning the community service as an option to pay off the fine.
And we do have a question. KLEK, who's this?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question to the judge.
All right, what's your name, sir?
My question is, do you have to be at the court from 9:30 to 12, and like you have a job? Do you come down there when you had a lunch break or something, or do you have to be there from the 9:30 to 12 to get something done?
What we do is we begin at 9:30 sharp. Last week with 50 people, we were there till 12:30. Court starts then again at 2 o'clock for items of that nature. If you're having issue with work interfering between that, you can contact the clerk's office, Joe Monroe, speak with either him or Bridget Clift, CLIFFT, and give them your name and number, and we may be able to make an arrangement so that you can do that. I know that working on Fridays, if you've got a job, sometimes that interferes with being able to take advantage of the full thing, so I don't want to punish anybody who's working. But if you'll contact my office, give us your name, we can either get you set up at a later date where you can come in on the Friday, but we can definitely work around that. I want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to take advantage of this.
And what's the phone number to your office?
I don't think it's 870. It's 9. With the advent of iPhones, I don't think anybody knows.
Did you have any additional questions, sir? Sir, you still there? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, sir, you can call back if you had any additional questions. Phone lines are open at 870-277-1080. Once again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. We're speaking with Craighead County District Court Judge David Boling, talking about the amnesty program.
There's somebody else.
KLEK, turn your radio down. All right, caller, caller, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, what's your question for Judge Boling?
I was needing to know what it was over a 5-year period. I had got behind on my fines, and I got a warrant issued. If I go up there and turn myself in, when I go, if I plead guilty to that, will I need my 25%?
What we're doing with the amnesty program, when you come in on it over this 5-year period, if your outstanding warrant, what we're doing on Fridays is just simply we're giving you a new court date, so you're not required to pay any money up front on Friday. It's just giving you a new court date to come back, and at that point in time, it's not a 25% that either myself or Judge Fowler is requiring. Most cases, when you're looking at it, is roughly $100. That's what I look for, so that way we've got you on a payment plan. And so if you need time to pay that $100, I'm going to give you time to do that. So if you come in and you want to turn yourself in and get the warrant quashed and get a new court date, we can do that. And so one of the things we're taking into consideration is people's pay cycles. You know, I know sometimes the people, when you get a ticket, you may have a trial 2 weeks later, and I know working different jobs growing up that I may not have enough money to pay that, either the $100, the 25%, or the full amount. And so we're giving you time. If you say you need a month to come up with that, I'd be happy to give you a month to do that.
Okay, so I can just go up there Friday and turn myself in, and that should be okay, huh?
They won't be arrested, and we'll give you a new court date. So it's a good opportunity to take advantage of it.
My main question was when I went back for my court date, you know, whether or not I would need that 25% or what, you know.
How Judge Sure. Judge Fowler conducts his court a little bit differently. For me, I generally require $100.
Okay.
That's the amount that I require in order to pay before release. Okay. And that's just kind of whether your fines and fees are $2,000 or if they're $500. I know in times past it was 25% of that amount. But what I need is $100 paid to the clerk, and then we'll put you on a payment plan where you can afford to pay it per month.
Well, mine's like 4,000. So.
All right. Well, sir. Like I said,
I just need to know what I would need to bring. With $100 would be okay. Or?
You just come to court and we'll get you set up, and then you can ask us when we get to court, and I give you an idea after we set you back for a new court date.
All right, well, sir,
okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you for the call. And once again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. Got a couple Facebook shout-outs from Catherine Mann, God bless you, and from Josh Mann, God bless you, David. So definitely seem to have a lot of support in the community for yourself, Judge Fowler, and for this program.
And y'all were asking for the number. I wrote it down. It's 870-933-4581.
Okay. So just give the office a call and ask for Joe Monroe or Bridget Clift.
And Bridget's who you need to speak with. We'll write your name down. And like I said, our goal, it requires a little bit of manpower in order to be able to do this.
Okay.
Part of what we do is we print out, when we have court Monday through Friday, we have a docket prepared in advance. And when someone comes in off the street, writes your name down, there's multiple parts that have to be pulled and kind of figure out what it is that may have a warrant issued. And so we're trying to make it as effective and as if you have 50 people, it took 4 hours to do that. So if we have 100 people, we just need to start at 9:30 and be able to get through it as quickly as possible.
All right, Judge Boling just had a question. What if your fine is over $13,000?
Okay.
What we'll do is what I'm doing is taking a look at how those fines were accrued. Again, on the amnesty program, it's just giving you a new court date.
So with the $100 apply in this case, it didn't do the payment plan for. So basically, to the person that's supposed to come in, if you come up with $100, they'll get you started on the payment plan. Then I'm assuming, depending on how much your income is, then your payment plan will be set according to that.
Sure. And again, this Friday, or the next 3 Fridays that we have, you don't have to put up any money. I mean, there's no money that has to be down. It's merely coming in and getting the warrants taken care of, and then getting you set up for a new court date where you can have the money to begin your payment plan. Or if you want to pay your fines off in full, we had a gentleman that came in last week that he was on a fixed income, couldn't pay the $115 a month, but had put away enough money to pay off the fine. But the problem he'd had is he had a warrant that was issued for his arrest for non-payment of fines. And so, even though he had the money to pay it, he didn't want to come in and be arrested. And so this worked out perfect for him, where he was able to pay the $300 or $400 that he owed on the fines. Wow. The warrant was quashed, and that warrant being quashed is generally a $300 warrant. And so that warrant being quashed, it saved him $300. He paid his fine, got his reinstatement letter, and went and got his driver's license. And so that was a immediate impact, a positive impact that this can do.
Okay.
And of course, the gentleman replied, "That's love." All right.
I'll ask my question off there then.
Hey, Miss Farrell.
Good morning. How are you guys?
All right, doing fine.
Who are you guys this morning? I just turned the radio.
We got Judge Boling on.
Hi, Miss Farrell.
Oh, okay. Hello, Judge Bowen. I would like to commend you for being a man of your word and doing exactly what you said you would do during your campaigning. People are so happy that they're getting that amnesty and getting a chance to just come up, and it's making a difference in lives.
Well,
it really is.
Both myself and Judge Fowler, like I said, it was we campaigned on things. Now, for me, I'd met many people in the community, and I sure enough had told everybody what I was going to do, and my intent is just to live up to that, especially the preachers and my minister at my church. He asked me what I was going to do, and I said, "This is what I plan on doing." He goes, "Well, I'll support you," but he goes, "If you don't do it," he goes, "I'll be campaigning for somebody else." So,
yeah, I campaigned for you, and I supported you. And my pastor at my church, New St. John, mentioned Sunday, and we had already heard some of us. And a lot of people that don't listen to the radio, read the paper, they don't know about it, but they sure did mention and talk about it. And I've seen several people that have been up there, like I said, since this amnesty came into effect, and it's just a burden being lifted off of, and it's, like I said, it's changing lives, and we really do appreciate what y'all doing to help people.
All right. Well, Ms. Farrell, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It was good seeing you last Monday.
Yes, you too. Thank you. Have a good day.
And we thank you for the call, Mrs. Farrell. We got about 15 seconds, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to go to break, but we will still take your calls and your questions for Craighead County District Court Judge David Boling at 870-277-1080. Once again, that phone number is 870-277-1080. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Here are my latest recommendations for your Money Matters reading list. Author and entrepreneur Thea Viona Muhammad's mission is to inspire parents and other adults to raise black children to become wealth builders. She uses her website, RaisingBlackMillionaires.com, and weekly podcasts to showcase the wealth building wisdom of black entrepreneurs and professionals. In her book, How to Raise Your Black Child to Be a Millionaire, Muhammad picks the brains of such accomplished wealth creators as master networker George C. Frazier, Black Enterprise 100 CEO Michael V. Roberts Sr., and top corporate CEO Keith R. Weish. Her primary questions include: how does one learn about money and wealth building? How do you pass on those lessons to your children? The answers to these questions make her book a great read for parents and anyone else invested in the financial success of future generations. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Hey, this is Allie J from the Afternoon Groove on KLEK. If you need a Valentine's date, the KLEK Date Auction has got you covered. It's going down Saturday, February 4th at the Epic Center, 1899 County Road 333, Hasbrook Road. Just go down Johnson Avenue by Ron's Catfish Buffet, turn onto Hasbrook Road, and it's 1.8 miles and on the left. Show starts at 6 o'clock p.m., $5 admission, and it is going to be hosted by me, Allie J. You know you want to be there, right? If you want to be in the auction, call me at the station, 870-277-1080, or if not, just come out and have some fun with your fellow KLEK supporters and see who goes to the highest bidder. Door prizes will be given, and there will be a live musical performance from Tremina.
Get some tickets to your favorite movie. So tonight we won't be watching TV. Cause tonight we're stepping out.
The KLEK Date Auction is Saturday, February 4th, 6 o'clock p.m. at the Epic Center, and this is a KLEK fundraiser.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Tax Time is here at Car Today, the original buy here, pay here dealer. New Car Today General Manager Sean Corn.
With new inventory available daily, whatever you're looking for, we've got it.
Located on Stadium Boulevard just south of the 63 bypass, Tax Time is the time to drive at Car Today. Car Today.
Experience the joy with Bishop Adrian R. Rogers of Fullness of Joy Church, 3307 Ray Street, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK with Craighead County District Court Judge David Boling. We're talking about the amnesty program, and of course, you can call Judge Boling at 870-277-1080 if you have a call, or post on our Facebook Live feed. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, Judge Boling kind of, once again, just give the listeners an overview of how the amnesty program works.
Sure, what we're doing is we're conducting it for the next, we've got 3 more Fridays left beginning at 9:30 a.m. if you come to the 410 West Washington at the District Courthouse, make sure we start on time. You're not required to post any money when you come to that court date. What we're doing, if you have any failures to appear for non-payment of fines, not appearing on court on your first court appearance or when your trial is, we are quashing those warrants, giving you a new court date, and then getting you set back up so that if you're worried about being arrested, you can have those fears put aside. We'll quash those warrants and any fines that are associated with it, and then allow you to either come back in a month or a couple of weeks to do your trial or to begin a payment plan. We'll get you on a payment plan where you can come in, pay your money, and put you at a payment plan you can afford to pay per month or per week, however you wish to do it.
Alrighty.
And once again, for those who are just now tuning in, I want you to once again just address the people who may be fearful that this is a trick, that it's not real, it's not legit.
No, this is not. This is legit. It's not a trick. It's not any way in order to gather up or arrest people. If you have any misdemeanor outstanding non-payment of fines, non-payment of not doing your public service work, or not showing up for your trial dates, if you come in, it's just simply to get you reset without fear of being arrested if you're encountered on the street or being arrested at your job. You come in, we'll put you down. And it's a free bite at the apple, so to speak, that you may have made a mistake or forgotten a court date, but it allows you to get back on plan.
All right.
I've got a couple Facebook comments. One is, I agree, you are saving lives. Thank you, Judge Boling and KLEK 102.5 FM. The next one is, Mr. David, you are going to change Jonesboro the way that has been needing to change for years. I can tell you that for the past 2 years, I have lived in my own personal prison of fear of losing my job because of going to jail. If I lose my job, I lose my family. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving us all a second chance. I just want my life back, Mr. David, and in the past 2 years with my warrant, I have not been able to drive or go out in public, much less ... Thank you so much, Mr. David, and I will see you Friday to give my testimony.
All right.
I'd like to say that's unique, but you hear that story a lot. People who are fearful of doing, they go to their job and they come home. They don't want to open their door, and that needs to change. I don't. We can set this up so people can afford their fines. If you have fines here in Lawrence County, Poinsett County, I take those in consideration. So anything you have, we will work with in order to be able to make sure that you can live your life, be with your family, and have a job, and have minimal interference with me and with the law enforcement. I mean, we all want to live our lives.
Okay, in cases like that, there are people who have moved away from Jonesboro but won't come back to Jonesboro because they feel if they cross the county line, the police is right there waiting for them.
Sure, we've had people that are that moved to.
I'm sorry.
KLEK.
Hello, I hate to call right back, but my babysitter, I had to call when it came. I had another question about what if a person, and I did hear the interview that if they was out of town or whatever, and they haven't, they've been in the system. What, and then ones that don't know about it and by word of mouth or not hearing about it, what if they, after the date is over, what is the consequence then? Would they still have to go through that, being served on that warning paper that, or I know you're going to work with them in any way you can, but what are you going to do about that? I know it can't go on forever, that attitude, but what are the consequences?
Well, let me give a hypothetical scenario to kind of highlight what
I'm going to hang up and listen.
To kind of highlight what Mr. Farrell's talking about. Let's say somebody lives out of state and I guess because of whatever reason, they can't make any of the dates, but they want to still participate in the program. Could they call and maybe get a later court date and still qualify?
If they call the number we gave, the 870-933-4581, what we'll do is I will work with anyone that's, it's so much easier if someone's putting out the effort. If someone's putting out the effort, I'm willing to take that in consideration. I'm willing to work with them. We had a gentleman that was from North Carolina, made a bunch of mistakes whenever he was younger in life. I think as people between the ages of 18 to 24 often do, had gotten a good job, had married, had a family, and did not have the financial means in order to come back. And exactly what you're talking about, we worked with him in order to, he was a gentleman where he wanted to pay off everything he owed. But the fear was coming back to Jonesboro, having to come back in order to take care of these. We hadn't considered really doing the long distance, but I think that's a valid point, that if I have someone that's from out of state, if you have a family member that's not living here, and they want to take advantage of it, contact that number, ask to speak with Bridget, and we'll take your information down, and we may be able to work out. It may not be a blanket thing for every person, but we'll take each circumstance into consideration and make a case-by-case basis on what we can do to help that person.
I do have a question concerning this program. If it proves to be successful, which I'm pretty sure it already is, do you foresee doing another month or two down the line?
Or maybe like each year, maybe do it like first of each year, make it a recurring program?
I anticipate it'll be the initial success, I think, warrants it. It may have so much success this first year that it may not have quite the same results the next year.
Okay.
But I think it's a worthwhile program. We'll do these 4 weeks here and kind of evaluate. But I know in times past, amnesty has been done generally once a year.
Okay.
And so I don't see any reason to deviate from that at this time.
And with the increase in the technology, and this again somewhere down the line, could you foresee maybe doing Skype versions of, or some type of other
video conferencing?
Yes, for people who may not can get here, or I don't know.
Some of those technologies that you have with the Skype are good to have. The issue though is would be one, able to set up. A part of it is whenever you do a payment plan, you have to give your social security number, you have to give your name, your address, items of that nature in order to be able to do a payment plan. And so my concern would be if anything with Skype that's not a landline that we control, having information that could be taken and have potential financial identity theft.
Yeah, so imagine maybe some security issues probably have to be worked out before doing something like that.
It's fax and email, but
sure.
Okay, I know there's a lot of. I'm always thinking, or I'm trying to think ahead of what some possibilities for people who can't always physically be here.
Sure.
Well, Judge Boling, we definitely want to thank you for stopping by the studio to educate the listeners on the amnesty program. And Judge Boling himself will be in court this Friday, so you've heard it from the proverbial horse's mouth. So make sure that you come by the court from 9:30 to 12 this Friday, and you can speak with Judge Boling yourself. It's on the record. He said it on the radio, so now you can hold him to it. So if you are in this situation where you need some old fines taken care of, speak to the man himself, and he will work with you. Once again, I want to thank Judge Boling for stopping by the studio, and he's welcome to come back anytime. Don't forget, coming up at 11 o'clock a.m., my girl Allie J will be on midday with Diana Davis. Don't forget this Friday, Legends 1025, Blues, Barbecue, Live Band, and Comedy. It's going down. Have a great and blessed day, everyone. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.